In the previous video, we looked at how in most cases, Arc manages our memory allocation and deallocations for us. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Instruments application. We'll look over the interface and we'll learn about how both leak checks and heap statistics can help us to visualize our simple application's memory usage. Instruments is a tool that gets installed when you install Xcode on your machine. It's a powerful performance analysis and testing tool that you can utilize to help profile memory and performance issues in your applications. In our last video, we introduced Arc, which handles most of our memory allocations and deallocations for us. However, even the best app designs can encounter occasional memory issues that are difficult to isolate. Instruments can help us to understand how our application uses memory, which makes it easier to identify potential problem areas. Instruments allows us to monitor overall memory use, leaked memory, abandoned memory, and zombies. For more information on Instruments, please view this video's resource page. Let's see Instruments in action. We'll start by launching Xcode and loading our memory management project. As you'll notice, I've made a small enhancement to this project. I've added a simple button to my view controller so that we can start and stop the application. For convenience, I've included the starter file for this project at this video's resource page. Now that our project is loaded, build and run your application. Before clicking Start on your app, find and click the Show Debug Navigator button. If we double-click the list item named Memory, Xcode takes us to a memory dashboard. Now we can click the Profile and Instruments button, followed by Transfer. This detaches our session from the current running instance and attaches our debug session to Instruments. When attempting to attach Instruments to a process, you may find yourself with an error stating that you cannot attach Instruments to your simulator with System Integrity Protection enabled. Disabling this feature is straightforward, and if you need instructions as to how to disable this feature, you can look at this video's resource page for a step-by-step guide. This is the Instruments application. Up here, we see the all heap and anonymous virtual memory. The next item down is leak checks. These are just two of the many performance profilers available to us. Notice in the leak checks swim lane, we see a recurring green check mark. This indicates that our application does not currently have any leaks. And if we double-click on our leak checks, we can see that our leaked objects pane is empty. Let's go back to our statistics pane and then press the Start button on our app. Notice the activity increases in the all heap and anonymous VM swim lane. And after 5 seconds, we see the activity drop, just as we intended with our timer. This is great. We're actually able to visualize our object being allocated and deallocated from memory. You might be curious about this pane down below. This is the statistical allocation summary, which shows us which processes are using memory in our application. We can hover over these items, and we'll see an arrow appear. If we click on one, for example, all heap allocations, we can see the item's details, including the exact address in our object's memory. Now, scrolling through this and trying to make sense of what you're reading might seem futile, and unless you're used to browsing low-level code, it can be. Fortunately, Apple has included a useful search feature to search through this list. If we search for our vehicle instance, Instruments will filter our results and display the log for our vehicle object. Now that we've seen how to locate a potential problem, we have the ability to analyze it further. In this video, we have introduced Instruments and visualize our objects in memory. Instruments is a vast and powerful tool for analyzing our application's performance. I encourage you to spend some time with Instruments. Becoming better at isolating issues with this tool is key to becoming an excellent Swift programmer. In the next video, we'll look at strong reference cycles and their implication on our application's performance.